Today at Benwick Sports, we have a very special guest, and it's Mr. Dave Harrell, DH Anglers Flies. How are you, my
You got
friend?
me here at last.
Great to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to see you. So, from a river angler, an out-and-out river angler, to another out-and-out river angler, I'm going to enjoy this, mate. I'm really going to enjoy this. So, I would say 99.9% of river anglers have got one of your floats, at least one of your floats in their box.
We share the same
So,
passion, don't
we do, my friend. Yeah, we do. So, how on earth did this start? Because we've got from pole floats to stick floats. We've got wagglers.
I know.
Beautiful floats.
I think the story really starts a long time ago, doesn't it? It started back to when I first sort of got into fishing, and I got into float fishing and loving float fishing in my teen years, really. And eventually I had the chance to form a brand. I created the MAP brand back in 1989, so I've done a lot of this work once already. MAP was mine, or part of mine, for a good 15 years. The brand was sold, I went to work in publishing, came out of publishing and realised there was just hardly anything that I wanted to use. I couldn't buy. You know, it was almost like going back in time and having to make again everything that you wanted, you know, the right wagglers and everything. So I just decided to create a new brand. I mean, I put that together in 2011. And then I started trading properly in 2012, so what's that, 13 years on. And it's just been a labour of love. You know, I started with the original ranges again, the traditional stuff, and then everything I've ever wanted to use myself in, I've just developed. And then you get knock-ons from it, don't you? You know, you do something and you know you can make something better for a situation.
That's right. Yeah.
We've got waters that deep, and we've got waters fathoms deep.
Yeah.
So
Different
and
speeds.
it flows slow and it flows fast, and it you know.
Yeah.
It's just something for everything, and I keep saying every year, that's it now, we'll stop for a bit. Even last week, and then I come out with something else.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah. They're beautifully made. Let's have it right. They are beautifully made, and you've helped me a lot. I know I've contacted you with different scenarios. From very shallow water with chub and dace.
We've got some of our favourite patterns, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I think we share that, don't we? Yeah. So the float patterns. I mean, they, like I've just said, you've got from pole floats, you've got wick floats, you've got floats that you know that we've seen before that you've improved. I think you've improved. You know, what when you look at it, how do you look at a float and improve? You know, that's the thing.
You know, over the course of time, I mean, I've fished in some really good teams. I've fished lots of competitions, not just in this country, abroad as well. And over the course of time, you end up developing stuff for all sorts of venues.
Oh, mate.
You know, what's the floats? You know, so then you listen to other people as well. What do they want? I mean, I'll give you the example of whip floats. You know, the DH19 is a really popular pattern now.
It is, yeah.
Now, when I created that, it was 1 gram to 3 gram. Then I was asked by someone somewhere, can you do something bigger? 4s and 5s could do the few 6s. Then I had a phone call from someone in Ireland, because you get to know a lot of people, don't you, over the course of time, and it's like, can we do some bigger? I said, what, bigger than 6 gram on the whip?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do some 8 and 10 gram. It's really deep where we fish. I'm thinking there's a limit to where I think.
Yeah.
But we made samples, we sent them away. The people in question raved about them, ordered sufficient to make it worthwhile. And that's the other thing, you can keep developing, but sometimes you've got to sell some as well.
Yeah, of course you have.
But I mean, straight away now, I sell a lot of 8 and 10 gram whip floats. I would never have thought that was possible.
No, there's a lot of fishing to hand, isn't there? But I like the number 3 heavy base. That one for me is my sort of go-to one. But also those new shallow floats is number 3
And number 4.
and the number 4.
Yeah.
They are nice. I remember saying to you about how to fish them in that shallow water. You're talking about bulking down and running it at them and all that sort of thing.
There's
a lot of difference in the shotting patterns and things like that, and you know, so just with that one, you know, just with that one question, your shotting patterns and that. What makes you tick with your shotting patterns? Do you know what I mean? Because
what makes me tick?
Yeah, what makes you think about how to shot these top and bottom floats to start?
A lot of it, even with stick floats, you talk to someone about a traditional stick float, and they'll say, "Oh, I have all the shot down in the bottom third."
Yeah.
You know, that was how it was, and a lot of that was about how the float was balanced. When you think back to years ago with a balsa top and a cane stem, it was to get it to work so you could cast it properly to work with the floats. If you start doing that with our heavy base sticks, it's all out of balance because you've got a lot of weight there as well.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
So then you find that by stringing the shot out all the way through, it all casts together and lays in a line. You cast it overhead, it never tangles.
No.
You know, so it's a lot of it's trial and tribulation. I mean, you go through. Like as you said, there's so much experience, really. I mean, first time around was good, but I've fished an awful lot of matches since then. And I mixed with a lot of good people. I mixed with a lot of good people on a number of venues. You know, the hybrid sticks that we did. I made an insert stick before that. Now, one day you're sitting at breakfast, a chap called Toby Bunting sat with me and said, "Have you ever thought of doing longer tips and all that for the Trent?" Because with the Trent, you've got a different problem with wind and glare. You know, short tips just don't work so well. And it was just one of those conversations that, you know, I went away from it and I thought, there's food for thought with this, you know. So you come away, that's where the name hybrid came in, you know, you got the same body shape, a longer tip. Then the thing was, what diameter we're going to make it, and so you ended up with 3 different diameters. But the heavy base stem brought the whole thing together.
Did that? I mean, heavy base. When I first started stick float fishing, we've been Lignon.
Yeah.
So, is there still a place for Lignon?
It's a really good question. You know, if I'm completely truthful, and I will be, I don't even carry Lignon now.
No, yeah.
And yet, we sell loads.
You do.
Yeah. So, I mean, now I find that the different heavy base sticks. Probably killed all my own sales by saying this, but all the heavy base sticks cover everything I want to do, you know, and I think they're better.
Yeah.
But then you try and sell the idea to someone who's been fishing for years and knows what he's doing. He wants to pick it up.
They do. Yeah. So, and we'll carry them for nostalgia as such as well. There's a lot of that in it, you know, because it's not all about just going out catching fish. It's about how you're doing it. You know, I mean, I get moaned at by some of the guys in here because I still like the Abu reels. I still use the 507s. Still use my Normark rods and all them sorts of things. And sometimes it's about using it, isn't it? It's about.
At one time I used to have 11 507.
Did you?
Yeah. I collected them, and I never ever thought it would change. And then one day, in the mid-90s on the River Trent, I fished after a match with a friend of mine at a good peg. Who I think he won the match, but we stopped on. And he had the old, was it the Daiwa 1350s, the open face?
Yeah.
Not close face, open face.
Not the finger dabs.
No. It might have been, I can't remember. But anyway, it was that was a 1657, wasn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, it was.
So we've used this reel, and he's gone, try this. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, why am I fishing in close space? Why am I using a close space reel? This is so much better. I can cast better. It's got better retrieve. I can play fish better. And you know, from that day, that point in time, I switched to open face. And I sold all of my 11 reels for about 50 to 100. I mean, that's good money now. I wish I'd have stocked up all those years ago even more. But you know, now I can't fish with them. No. You know, I've had days with people, especially little 506s.
Yeah. I must admit mine are redundant.
I can't use them like a little kid's reel for me.
Yeah.
But then I fish a lot of big rivers.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
But 507s, I mean, God, I used them for years on the Avon.
Especially for slider fishing.
I meet people now, you know, that come to me and they'll say, I've got something you want. I'll say, what, money, your wife? I'll say, no, I've got some 507s if you want them. And I'm like, no, I don't use them.
Got rid of them.
But yeah.
So. Yeah. But also, we're going on about that, but talking about, we're going to talk about your floats in a lot more detail. Feeding's important, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I've seen a lot of things you've done with feeding. You know,
It's huge. I mean, you can have the best rods, reels, line, floats, everything in the world. If you don't feed it properly,
no,
then you are totally right. You know, you need the right volume of bait. It's something that's very hard to explain to people if they've never done that sort of fishing. And, you know, over the course of a season, I mean, I'm starting my season on the Avon. That's going to be difficult in parts for a lot. It'll be a pre-match probably. But as then we go on the Trent and all that, and every venue's a bit different. You know, even float fishing, you might want a pint and a half of bait in 5 hours. We get to the Y in the winter, and we're like, you know, cascading it in with big balls and loads of soil. Fish, and really, you're fishing to fish response, aren't you?
yeah,
You know, if you're getting response, you can put more in. If you're not getting response, you've got to ease back a bit. But it's not an easy one. I mean, my advice to anybody on that score would be, go and watch a few matches. You know, we've got Riverfest now. It's just about to start, and we've got 30 qualifying matches around the country.
it's been a huge success.
Massive. Another subject in itself, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know, but with that, just take some time out. If you want to do it, take some time out, go and watch, and then ask. It was something I never did enough of. When I was young, I'd watch, but I was a bit too shy to ask. I was in awe of people like Ivan Marks and Clive Smith. I wanted to talk to them, and I was too nervous. I think now we've reached a point in time where we're all approachable. I mean,
as long as you choose the right time.
Yeah,
you
not
know,
in the match.
Just about to net a chub in the Riverfest is probably not a
the match
great time
unless
asking what hook he's on.
Yeah, if you're invited in the match, I'll come down. But
Yeah.
otherwise, talk them after the match. But if you watch a guy, watch a good angler on a good peg, and watch the way he feeds, you'll learn so much.
I wouldn't without a doubt.
And then go and try it yourself. If you can get back on the same peg, try it out.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember when I rang you and I said, I don't know what's going on here. I know there's chublets and chub up there, and all I'm catching is the roach. And you said, what are you doing? What are you feeding? I said, I'm feeding them and bronze maggot. No, just do one. Just feed the maggot, and then run it through at half deck.
Started catching them.
Light on. Should have known that, but it just, I thought with it being so shallow where I was fishing, that it wouldn't make no difference. Oh my God, them chub are right under the surface,
Right up, don't
didn't they? Yeah. So, and those, you could switch across to, if you want to, switch across to one of your shallow floats and things like that. You know, and it's all there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all there.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic range, but not just your floats. We've got your line, we've got your shot, your silicons, really brilliant stuff, by the way.
I have a lot of that made, you see. It's not
so good.
silicon. I mean, I've had companies from India approach me, and also to try and produce it and make. I won't go for it. It's an English company, and I have certain sizes there. There are certain sizes you can buy off the shop, but generally, I have it made because it's half a 0.5 millimetres thick. Every wall, every one. So even on 8mm, you haven't got a big thick wall to contend with. So then when you put it on a float tip, especially if you just use a small piece, I mean it's another important one. People cut too much rubber.
Yeah.
And then that creates surface tension.
Yeah.
So you just want a small piece because it's high quality stuff. It won't cut.
No.
Won't cut through. But your float tip, especially if you're dotting a stick float down, it'll just work better. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All these little things, isn't it? It's all these little things add up to equal at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if it's all right with you, we'll have a look in depth at one or two products that you've got. Also, one or two favourites of mine, like a little bit more info on. You know, while we're at it.
We're going to end up designing some more floats, aren't we, by the end of this?
Yeah, I think we are. So let's do that, shall we, mate?
Let's do it.
Good, right.
Cheers, pal.
Good.